This is the fish section of Costco. We have fresh farmed Atlantic salmon fillet. Fresh stuffed salmon. It says farm raised. Fresh farmed tilapia. Fresh breaded tilapia. Fresh wild corvina fillet. Wild caught product of Ecuador. Fresh farmed steelhead fillet. Fresh wild mahi mahi, product of Costa Rica. Fresh wild ahi. Farmed black tiger prawns. Wild lobster tail of Brazil. Scallops. Wild caught product of the United States. Fresh live farmed mussels, product of Canada. Fresh farmed live little neck clams. Lobster. Wild caught product of Chile. Prawns farm raised in Vietnam. Salted Pacific cod. Wild caught in the US.
This is a tuna loin, and it's wild caught in the Panama waters.
And do you know what kind of tuna it is?
Wild ahi. Ahi.
Okay. Also, do you have any way of finding out how it's caught? Like what method is used to catch it?
What we have is the information from the company that cuts them and sends them out packaged. When we get them, we get the whole loin, and we'll cut it. We cut it into these pieces. Any detailed information we necessarily wouldn't have. It would be the fisherman.
Do me a favor and post this up somewhere. It's just like what kind of sustainable fish there are out there and what kind to avoid. Just for information. Sure. Alright.
I'd love to take that.
Okay, thank you. So we found some all-natural ahi tuna steaks, and it's wild caught, but they do say that their products come from tuna caught using traditional hook and line fishing methods. Here we have Atlantic salmon, and it is farm-raised Atlantic salmon, which these raw sea scallops are on our good alternative list. The best would be farmed, of course. So we did the fresh fish, we did the frozen fish, and now we're going to canned fish. Everyone's looking at me funny, but I'm getting it done. We have Kirkland brand solid white albacore, Bumblebee, which is more albacore, pink salmon, wild Alaskan salmon, wild Alaskan sockeye salmon. Now on our Kirkland brand albacore, it actually has a little label here that says dolphin safe, and that means when they catch the tuna, if they catch any dolphins, they release them and they save them. The chicken of the sea tuna also has the dolphin safe logo right there. The wild Alaskan sockeye salmon has a little note in the back. It's not the logo per se, but it does say this product comes from a fishery which has been certified to the Marine Stewardship Council's environmental standard for a well-managed and sustainable fishery. Nobody really looks at any sort of label. Nobody really cares about any of the fish and how they're caught, and with whether they're farmed, whether they're MSC labeled, or any of that stuff. So, I mean, that's just the reality of it. Now we are going into Publix. We have some boned salted pollock chunks, salted codfish from Canada, some shrimp, doesn't farm raised, previously frozen, stone crab clusters, wild harvested, There are oysters, which are a product of the United States, but they are wild. Canadian farmed mussels, Indonesian farmed shrimp, wild shrimp from the United States, island farmed shrimp, Canadian wild sea scallops, lobster tail from Canada, wild fish head, and that looks like snapper. Yep, yellowtail snapper, Caribbean red snapper, grouper steak is wild from the United States, mahi-mahi from Costa Rica, Corneva fillet fish, tuna nugget, never frozen, product from Panama, product from Costa Rica, wild king clip congrio, mackerel fillets from the United States, wild Iceland wild flounder fillets, salmon farmed from Chile, mahi-mahi from Guatemala, wild, catfish fillets farmed from the United States, salmon fillet farmed in Chile, tilapia fillet farmed in Costa Rica, section, I found two different brands of tilapia. They're both U.S. farms, so they're both on the best choices list. And then there's this grilled salmon from Canada. And Canada and Alaskan salmon are both about the same thing since they're in the same place. So this is also on the best choices list. And these Publix brand fish fillets, it's Publix, and it doesn't say where it's from, but it's probably farmed. Pollock is pretty much always farmed from what we see. I haven't found any of the MSC labels on any of the canned fish products in Publix, but the same thing with one of the Costco products. The Alaska Seafood Marketing Institute has a label on this can of Alaskan salmon. And but that's the only label we see anywhere in all of Publix that has to do anything with sustainability. Everything else is pretty much on the avoid list because it's all tuna, and canned tuna is usually bad, like the albacore. All of it's on the avoid list. These are the final tallies for Publix and Costco. Just one MSC labeled product was found at Costco. Everything is pretty evenly distributed as far as the best choices versus the good alternatives versus the fish you should avoid.
Another morning, another
We're at Long John Silver's finding out what kind of fish they sell and how it's caught.
There's no storm warning, it's just steady.
What kind of fish you sell here?
So Alaskan pollock, tilapia, salmon, should be 160.
And do you know how any of that is actually caught?
No, we don't know.
Okay, can I actually leave this with you in case anybody wants any information? It's about sustainable choices of seafood, you know, just to have it available.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
No, I was wondering if it'd be okay if I could make a drawing for the restaurant.
So I just got out of Red Lobster, and the only information I got from them is a menu. They said that they wasn't allowed to film in there. I couldn't film her talking to me, and they couldn't give me any information. All I can do is get a menu and look up things online. Nothing on the menu says anything about how any of the seafood is caught or where it's
tickling my nose till the day is through. beautiful sunset. It's just like I always